In this video, we're going to look at a practical application of the advanced query. So here we have a slider. Here we have some products. Here we have a featured product. We've just included the option to purchase on the home page. And then we just have a list of the cheapest products on the website. Now to control these items, normally you'd log into Oxygen, go into each item and then update. But let's say I wanted to change the home page here. It looks like it has t-shirts. And I want to make that now, instead of t-shirts and decor, I want to change that to, let's make that music and hoodies. And we simply update, head over to the home page, refresh, and you'll see now that we now have music, the hoodies and hoodies on the home page in the slider. If I scroll down and I look at the next section, we have the oldest products, and we say the oldest because they are now arranged by date in an ascending order. So let's make it a descending order, and I'm just going to change the title then to youngest products, and we'll update that. We'll refresh the page. And now you'll see that the heading changes to the youngest products, and then these are all our newest products loaded on the website. Do you have one of these? This is a random selection. So if I head over here into the back end, you'll see that it's random. It's from hoodies and t-shirts, but let's do a random one from music and decor. Let's just change that one out. And we'll hit the enter button, and now you'll see that we now have an album. Enter again, it might change. There we have the decor item. So that's how that content section works. And then here we have cheapest chips, and those are the cheapest products on the website. So under cheapest chips we have it price descending. So I'm now going to make it expensive as chips, update, and now you'll see that we have the most expensive item listed down to the cheapest. Now all of these items then are controlled from the home page, from the options page, and it's very easy for us then to come along and mix it up in whatever way we like without having to touch the code in Oxygen. Another way that we could do this is if we have a look at this, maybe what we want to do here, we have a lot of items here in descending with the youngest products. Maybe we just want to stick to, and I'm purposely going to choose one that doesn't have a lot. So let's just go with music. And when we update that and you have a look, then you'll see that we just have the music items displayed. So I could quite easily just come along, change that heading, and now say so music and decor, and I simply choose music and decor from here, update, and now I've essentially updated the home page to music and decor, and I didn't have to log into Oxygen to do it. I could just do it straight from the options page. So that is how this is put together, and what we're going to do now is just have a look at each section and see what the setup is. So here I am in Oxygen, and the first one we're going to look at here is the slider, and in the slider I have a repeater, and we'll head over to the query and we'll edit that query, and you'll see here that the first thing we do is we have the taxonomy or the post type as product. Then we have a taxonomy query, and you'll see here that what we're essentially doing now is, although we've selected the term and we want the term ID and the operator in, you'll see that here we have a custom field that we're accessing in order to get the term IDs. So that's the product category IDs, and we've done that for each section. And I'm just going to go down this query a bit more before coming back to that. Then we have the meta query. So we first have the taxonomy query, which is to identify the categories. Then we have the meta query, and in the meta query here we're saying only display items that are on sale. So you'll see we have the sale price and the sale and the min variation sale price. So when you look at the items in the slider at the top, they will or should always be items that are on sale. And we just say with a value greater than 0 so that they appear in the slider. And then here we have the order by. Once again, it's a custom field, and then we have the order, which is a custom field, and then we have the meta query, which is the relation just to say that we only want stock, the stock status, so we only want items that are in stock. So that's the query as you have it now, and we're just going to have a look and see. So that's how that query is put together. The next query that I'm going to look at then will be for the next section here. And in this section here, the query, if we head over to the query and we edit that query, you'll see here that it's once again product type, post type is product, post per page you're able to select. It's a custom field. Here we have the taxonomy query, and once again it's a custom field. Then we have the pagination disabled, order by, which is a custom field, the order, which is a custom field, and then the meta query, we're just looking for items that are in stock. In the next query that we have, which is this random item here, we're also using a repeater, and what we're doing here in the query is we've once again chosen the post type, but we've set the post per page to 1, so it's only ever going to get the one item. The order by is by a custom field, the order is a custom field, and then here we have the taxonomy query, which again is a custom field. We have pagination set to no found rows, true, so there's no pagination. And then here we see the meta query just to look for items that are in stock again. And then we look at the last item, and this item is all the cheapies, the cheapest chips items. And the query there, the cheapest chips is something that we select on the front end, but here we have this once again set up with the post type of product, the post per page 3, the order by is a custom field, the order is a custom field, and then we have the taxonomy query. Once again, the taxonomy query actually isn't a custom field, it's actually a function that's returned with the values of the categories, and that's for all the categories that we've used in this homepage demo. And then we once again have no pagination, and the meta query just looking at the stock items. And here the order by is once again here by custom field, but the meta key is price, and the meta key is that's important because yeah, we are generally sorting by price. So that's how we've set up the Oxygen, and this is how you would update the options. And now what we're going to do is just going to go and have a look at the custom fields for this particular setup. So here we are in the field groups, and in the field groups here I'm going to look at homepage settings, and this is where it's all been set up. So these are the different sections, and you'll see that these names then correlate to the sections that you see here. So with a bit of styling you can make each section here a different color. That can be done, and that will make it easier. I haven't done that, but something to think of in the future. So what we do is when it comes to selecting categories, we use the taxonomy term selector, and then we select the product category. We say all terms, checkbox. Term ID is the return value. The layout is horizontal. Now what's important to note here is that when you use the custom field with the categories, it returns an array. But when working in the builder and we select the category, so if I head over here and I go to my repeater and we go to the query and we go to the advanced query, you'll see that the list that is required here is a comma separated list, not an array. So what we do is we write a function that then just implodes that list, that array, and separates each item with a comma. So to see what that looks like, I'm going to head over to snippets. And here in the snippets, you'll see that we have this code here at the bottom, and you'll see that each one of these is for each one of the sections on the home page. So if I look at the section over here, we're looking at the home top slider categories, and if I have a look here at the custom field that we're looking at here that returns the values, it's called HT slider categories. And when I go to the snippet, you'll see that there is that custom field. So we get the fields, we implode the values, and then we output the list. And then what we do is we just use that function name inside Oxygen Builder over here. When we select data, what we'll do then is we will select the PHP function return value. We'll just paste in that function name. So in this case it was that. We'll just head over here, paste it in there, insert, and then that will return that comma separated list of values, which will then be used for the categories. Now in a similar way, if we have a look here at, for example, order by, you'll see it's a custom field. And what we do here now is, you'll see here when we go to order by, what we've done here is we've created the order by field as a select field with a radio button, so you can only select the one, and we've sorted it with title, date. Now for the price to work, the value needs to be meta value number, and then we have rand for random. So that's how we've set the order by. The order is also a custom field that is inserted, and here we've selected the values ascending and descending. And here we've selected the post per page, and we've set a default value here of 3. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 1. It just depends on the section on the website. So if the person doesn't select, we know that it will be the recommended value. Then we move to the next section. So here once again we have the custom fields for the new section, and these are hprod. And the hprod section, then we have the title, and then once again we have the categories. So once again the categories are the taxonomy terms under relational, and for advanced custom fields, then we have the, once again we've selected the product category, we've set all terms checkbox, and then term ID. You could actually restrict the selection then to specific terms. So let's say that second section from the top, I don't want to give people access to all terms. What I can do then is just select, let's say we're going to select hoodies, and because we want to keep it to clothing, we're going to select hoodies and t-shirts. And if I update that and I head over to my field here and I refresh, you'll see now that in the section here under hprod, I can only select from hoodies and t-shirts. So I can even restrict the editor to only choosing from those two. So if you want to have a specific flow of products and sliders and different modules, then you can actually control that with the custom fields and limit them to specific categories. So that's pretty much how that would work. I'm just going to remove those two so that it defaults to all the terms. Then that's pretty much how everything is set up. If we, once again, the order by is the same for all the different sections, and that's pretty much how it is set up. And then of course at the bottom we have the options page is equal to, and then home page settings. So that's how we've set it up, and that's pretty much how it works, because then you would simply go along to the section here. So if I wanted to do that first section, now we know that the taxonomy query is that function that we've created, so we've already checked that. But if I wanted to do order by, for example, then I would select data, wait for that to load, then I would go to advanced custom field, and you'll see that all these blue items here are from the options page. And if you can't remember which of these you'd like to use, or which one is relevant to that section, you'll see that with that prefix, for example, these are all H prods, then I would be able to go into my custom fields here, and I see, okay, so H prod is for the second section, HT is the first section. So then if I'm going to be doing something on the first section, then I make sure that I look for the HT. If I'm looking for the second section, there's the HTs, then I would look for the H prod, then we have the featured, and then we also have the cheapest. So by giving your custom fields accurate names, they'll be much easier to identify here in this what can be quite a big list of custom fields after a while. So that's just one simple trick to keep track of everything. Then you simply select the custom field, and the connection is made, and the right custom field is associated with the right area of content. So that's just a very brief overview then of how you can use advanced custom fields with an options page and then create these custom areas. Just another thing to consider is that when building this demo, we did use another plugin which is called Advanced Custom Fields Extended. So ACF Extended then adds a whole lot of other functions to the advanced custom fields, and one of those is a very easy way to create options pages, and that's what we used. But you can also manually create a function and then create the options pages. So that's just a very brief overview then of how we've used this list of advanced custom fields. We created an options page, and then we've linked these advanced custom fields to the advanced query inside Oxygen, and then that's how we've been able to create then this interactive and dynamic home page. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you for watching.